It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Tell them, Canada Dry.
It's time for D.A.D. Dynamite After Dark. Hit the music, you stupid interns.
Oh, it's Wednesday. No, it's October 26th, 2022. Good evening, Joseph Graham. Good evening to everybody out there. I am, of course, number 9, the greatest baseball player of all time. I'm the JFB, James from Boston.
And I am your Canadian hero once again, back on the show every single week, every single episode. Canada Dry, the bubbly son of a bitch.
Woo! We are, of course, joined by Trey J Styles. Trey J, say hello.
What up, everybody?
And we are joined by the resident expert. This man's brain is so full of knowledge that when he sneezes, he still knows more than we do. Say hi, Mr. Isaacs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got the scally cap.
When he blows his nose, he blows snot, and it's like filled with knowledge on that tissue.
This is true. I have to check them before I discard them.
It's like, wait a second.
Right.
Anything that I should know?
So let's get started. We start off hot. Man, I'm telling you, this is what I love about AEW over WWE and over some. We don't start with promos or with Renee Paquette. We start with matches, damn it. And we start with a hot one. We are, of course, talking about Jericho and Garcia from the Jericho Appreciation Society against Claudio and Yuta, as one known as Wheels of the Blackpool Combat Club. Hager still has the hat. Here's my summation of this match. Hager still has the hat. It's freaking awesome. Talk about kayfabe. Got to keep it real.
Yep.
Jericho with feathered hair reminds me of like the 80s vixens on heavy metal videos where their hair is all feathered and it's all out. I'm digging the feathered hair. Yeah, they love flipping the bird. I think they should try to trademark it at least, but then Moxley would not be able to use it. Very, very physical match. We knew it was going to kind of go into that. I gotta say this with Wheels. Hey, Noob, how you doing? With Wheels and Blackpool Combat Club, I think he's becoming a made man. I mean, this guy has gone personality injection and is just killing it. We're in a Jericho Renaissance. Drink it up, baby. And did he actually spin 2 guys? He had 1 guy on his back, and he still did the swing, the giant swing. How awesome is that?
Pound for pound, this guy's the strongest man in professional wrestling.
Oh yeah. No, there's no question. You can name anybody else, and we're going to tell you that you're wrong. Trey J, you go first. Your thoughts on the opening match?
So,
Hey, it's my favorite girl, Dollywood.
oh snap! Dolly's watching. We can't make Dolly jokes now.
Oh, we're making Dolly jokes anyways. We're Dollywood all night long.
She about to go out and look back. She's like, "What did I miss before?" Like, but, I like this match. My biggest problem with it is I feel like, given the ending of it, it's not really going to lead into anything for Wheeler and Claudio. If it was building to something, this really just seemed like a get back match for them because they had been kind of on a losing streak to the JAS. Taking out the entire JAS, not as big a deal anymore. Yeah. But I think that for the most part, like, I think this match was serviceable. I definitely did not see Garcia and Jericho losing this one, though.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big surprise for me. You said, why not?
Yeah.
Oh, because I feel like they're on, like, you're like you said, Jericho Renaissance, Daniel Garcia being built. I understand the whole building up of Wheeler Yuta, but Wheeler didn't really get the shine.
I'll respond to you when it's my turn to talk.
You said what?
I'll respond to that when it's my turn to talk.
I just feel like Wheeler didn't really get the shine until like the post-match kind of face off with Danielson.
Yeah. Mr. Isaacs, resident expert, your thoughts on this opening match?
Thought it was a very solid opening match. I enjoyed it. I also had Jericho and Garcia winning.
Yeah.
So I was very shocked that they did not, especially since Jericho's on such a hot streak lately and never loses.
It's Fruit Cat.
Hey, we got a black cat right in time for Halloween.
No, he's not just a black cat. He's Fruit Cat, damn it.
But I thought it was a solid match. I think that with Claudio getting the pin here, I think they're kind of building towards him and Jericho again for the Ring of Honor title. That's kind of where I think they're going with this.
Okay. Canada Dry, your response?
Well, I'm going to address Trey J Styles because his foresight in predicting is kind of out for this match.
Yeah.
Obviously, they are building a match. If you didn't remember that promo by Claudio Castagnoli, he's like before Brian Danielson, he had something in there. He's like, I want that Ring of Honor championship back. He said that in the promo just before that match between Jericho and Danielson. And this match is going to happen at Full Gear between Claudio and Jericho because he's a former Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah.
And that's all this is about. This is about building that match.
Yeah.
So come on, Trey J. Come on.
I get that. It's like it doesn't move the needle. It's like we're about to go see what was it? Wardlow versus Matt Taven, and that's kind of like a weird introduction for the Kingdom having a television in-ring debut. And it's almost like you look at the Ring of Honor champions that are left. It's what? Jericho's beaten 7 of them so far.
Yeah.
So there's like 20 left. Yeah. Who's left? I mean, are we really going to see the match that like they promised never was going to happen in AEW, which was Jericho versus Matt Hardy? Because you don't give us Jericho versus Matt Hardy after you promise us guaranteed that it was never going to happen in AEW.
Yeah.
The problem is you never say never. I know. You should never say that.
But I feel like, but once you do say never, then you kind of got to stick to the never.
Yeah.
Weren't they supposed to meet at the Matt Hardy compound and then something happened and they couldn't do it?
I remember Guevara was in the compound.
No, but it was originally supposed to be Jericho.
Yeah.
Compound.
Yeah, you are correct. We get Renee with Brian Danielson. He talks about frustration. I'm frustrated with this. I'm frustrated with that. Wheels comes in, starts poking the bear. I don't know.
Out and a boot.
It was just, it was a boring. It really was boring that interview with Brian Danielson. I know you're trying to get the fire stoked up. Let's talk about the very weird. I don't know if everybody got it on their feed. I got it when I was watching live. The whole thing about the Elite and disappearing on the video. Let's talk about this because the realism is they're under contract. They're not going anywhere soon. But what do we want to prognosticate as to what this was trying to say, what this was trying to do? Canada Dry, you go first. Your thoughts on the weird.
I have no clue what they were trying to do, but I thought it was very creative.
Yeah.
It's very, very creative. So I like that. I like creativity. I like something different. So I'm excited to see where this goes because it's not something I've seen before. So I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. Mr. Isaacs, your thought on the disappearing Elite?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear here that Tony Khan's made a choice. I think these guys are definitely coming back at this point.
Yes.
This is a promo that's going to run for a few weeks. I would imagine they're going to pop back up. I don't know if they're going to come back as heels, maybe come back as the whole, you guys turned against us. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
But man, what kind of white hot nuclear heat would we get if they did that? And CM Punk came back to challenge them.
I think they're going to be. I think if they're going to be exactly the opposite of that, they're going to be baby faces.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know. I think with the E disappearing here, and they're it's like we're taking the Elite out of AEW. And I think that's going to be a heel thing.
You know what? They could come in as rogue outsiders now.
Yeah.
I mean, can you really, without going to another promotion and then coming back to AEW? Like, that doesn't make
Well, you can. You could say we're, you could just say screw Tony Khan. He suspended us. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean they could say, well, we were stripped of our power. We helped build this damn place, and now we're just outsiders, and we're going to come disrupt your show now.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That could be interesting. Trey J, your thoughts on the disappearing act?
So I do like the fact that that, like I said, like Ken Druss said, he was incredibly creative, and I definitely want to give him props for that. I think what kind of surprised me the most, though, was later on in the show how they really focused on that Los Angeles show.
Yeah,
from like January 11th. So that to me means that okay, we let Full Gear happen as planned. We let Final Battle happen as planned because we don't need the Elite on the ROH show. Whenever Winter is coming is going to come and go, and that'll probably either get us like Sting back or something else, something else interesting. But then you take that first show or basically the second show of the year, and it's in California where the Bucks live in California.
Yeah,
you know, they're going to come in as hometown favorites, like Mr. Isaacs would say, or even as Canada Dry would say, as babyface. They're going to get the reaction coming in California. And I think the reason why they hyped that show, which is basically 2.5 months away, on the same episode that they do the Disappearing Act, is not by accident.
Yeah. Put up Joseph Graham's comment. I thought it was an interesting question. The question is posed, what would be worse for AEW, losing the Elite and Hangman potentially, or Punk and maybe FTR? He asked us to take off our fan hats and talk strictly business. I'm going to go with Mr. Isaacs first. What is going to be worse?
I'm going to say Punk and FTR.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely worse for business. I mean, Punk spiked a rating.
Yeah.
He spiked interest. FTR is the greatest tag team in the world.
Yeah.
I think that would be worse for business. I really do. I think they could live without the Elite.
Yeah. Canada Dry.
I'm going Punk and FTR as well. FTR is the greatest tag team in the world. Yeah. That trio is a better trio money-wise than the Elite.
Yeah. Trey J, your thoughts?
I'm going to go the opposite direction. Whereas I do agree that Punk and FTR are the better money trio. I think that when it comes to the basis that AEW was built on, imagine when TNA went away from Jeff Jarrett's vision and went towards Dixie Carter's vision, it just became another wrestling show. I think that in the same way as when Cody left, it didn't hurt business, but I do think morale and people's willingness to want to go there and seeing it as this massive alternative, that kind of started to disappear a little bit.
And the feel of the show changed when he left.
Yeah, right, and it definitely did. And I was not a fan of Cody in AEW, but even I noticed that like there was a massive shift in not just the booking, but just how things were made. I mean, you think about like, to take a situation, it's like if I'm effing world champion in AFW, right? Yeah. It's even if I win the next 3 months, everybody that I'm facing, I should be like hyping them up. I should be like, all right, this person is great. Da, 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 da. And I think that was what the feel that Cody gave. Yeah. Even though I wasn't a big Cody fan, it was one of those things. And I think when we think about the Bucks, we think about Omega, the way that they can make people look like $1 million.
Yeah.
Is great for business because you're going to build up people. I mean, it's like there are people who want to see those guys lose.
Yeah. I mean,
there are people who want to see Punk and FTR. I'm sorry. And they're just people but there are always going to be people who just want to see Punk and FTR.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. If we're talking strictly on a business sense, it's dollars and cents. And basically what it comes down to is it comes down to ad buys. It comes down to ratings. Those make a huge difference. It doesn't matter how many people are wearing their shirts.
But Gray makes an interesting point. You don't want the Elite showing up on Raw either.
Yeah, that's true. And to be all honest with you, I seriously doubt that. I don't think WWE goes after them. I think it's too risky of a proposition to go after guys who were executive vice presidents for a competing.
No way. They would. the Elite show up on Raw the second their contract was released from AEW. Guaranteed.
I don't think they do. I'm going to be
Because
honest.
Triple H is throwing money at them, and they're going to say yes.
Because they're not. Here's the thing: the Bucks are the Bucks to wrestling fans.
Yeah,
hardcore wrestling fans.
Exactly.
It's a niche audience that likes them.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just not going to be over with like the casuals that are watching Raw every week.
casual.
I don't think you're right, Rebecca. Sorry, I think they would show up.
The casual kid that drags his mom and dad to a WWE show doesn't know who the Young Bucks are. Doesn't, but they know who Punk is because Punk's been on WWE. And if you can go on the Peacock and watch.
Okay, hold on a sec, JFB. You don't tell me that the WWE fans do not watch AEW too. Of course they do.
No,
not all of them.
A huge pop would be there if the Young Bucks showed up.
About half of them.
3 out of 10 watch AEW. I say 3 out of 10 watch AEW.
Yeah,
but they would be super pumped that they stole them away. All the WWE marks would be like, "Yeah, we stole them."
Yeah, but that's a small percentage. You're talking about like a scotch of people. That
you get this short-term boost, yes. Yeah. But like, what's the long term? Because the Bucks aren't going to sign for, we'll just come in for 6 months.
Yeah,
you're going to be signing for a 3-year deal. And it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do for those 3 years? And then what happens to the Bucks if they get released? Now they look like fools.
Yeah.
So I think we got some more matches to cover here.
Yeah, next match. Well, actually, we got another promo. This time, Shivani's with Jericho. Jericho gives out an open challenge to any former Ring of Honor world champion. Who answers the bell? Who answers the call to Jericho? I'm going to go Trey J first. Who do you think?
Oh, come back to me. I wanted to say because I said Matt Hardy before, but I'm not there with that.
Okay.
So come back to me last.
Okay, Canada Dry, you go first. Who do you think is going to call?
I have no clue.
Yeah,
I have absolutely no clue. But the only person I can't think of anyone. Yeah, so I just don't know.
Yeah, Mr. Isaacs.
Yeah, I was racking my brain over this too. Honest to God, I really don't know. I'm kind of with Trey J. The only name that popped in my head was possibly Matt Hardy.
Yeah,
because I was trying to think of people who held titles in Ring of Honor who are currently there and
well, they said
trotted out
any champion. No, they didn't just say just world champion. They said any champion.
Yeah, and Matt Hardy was a tag champion. I don't think he was ever world champion, right?
No, he wasn't world champion.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see it being him. I don't know.
Originally, I thought it was Samoa Joe, but
I think it's Samoa Joe.
It could
be.
I
don't. Yeah. I think it's got to be somebody who could lose because you don't do Samoa Joe against Jericho without a massive build. So, Canada Dry, did you say you didn't know?
I don't know.
And then Isaac, you're good on this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
Jay Briscoe, one-off guy.
Jay Briscoe, to me,
well, he signed.
He checks a lot of boxes. He's already there. You really don't need the thing. Jericho is going to make him look great. Jay Briscoe is going to bring something different, and honestly, I think he deserves some eyes on Dynamite.
Yeah.
I'd love it to be him.
And I don't really want them to bring too many people from the outside, given what they have. It's like you don't need somebody like Low Key. He's not good for TV. For one, he's just never been good for TV. Takeshita, what was it? Takeshita Morishima.
Yeah.
Like you don't need him. You know what I'm saying? Even though I think he could have a decent match with Jericho, I do think Takeshita is a little bit past his prime. But I do think that Jay Briscoe can do the heavy lifting in the match, and Jericho can still make him look great.
I agree. That's a good pick. I mean, I don't know why.
We'll see next week. We'll talk about if you're right, and we'll give you the props.
I hope it is, but I doubt it is because I know they've kind of stayed away from the Briscoes because of comments he's made in the past. So, but I hope it is him though.
I do too, and it's funny because when I think of Ring of Honor champions, I never think of Jay Briscoe, and he was not a bad world.
No, he was good.
No, and I think he had it for like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's had a decent number of runs. So let's get to
guys, I have to show you something.
Okay.
Stupid, naive, silly little goose.
Gotta love that.
Oh, gotta love it. All right. So let's go to our match number 2. We have Swerve in Our Glory versus FTR. I am actually, for once in a very long time, and I've been looking forward to this beating that FTR is going to give them. Man, I was sorely mistaken. The match started very slow and methodical, and that was perfect. It showcased Swerve that he's not going to bounce all over the place, and they're going to bounce all over the place and then start doing this and doing that. It was a slow, methodical start, and as it ramped up and it ramped up and it ramped up, it told an amazing story in the ring. Acclaim came out. They sat at the ringside. The Guns were there in this audience dressed cosplaying as FTR. Pace got picked up really good. The one thing that tickled my fancy was Taz calling Tony Schiavone Rand McNally Jones. So I thought that was hilarious. Well, and then of course there was shenanigans, and we could talk about that too. I'm going to go with Mr. Isaacs.
It's after dark. Don't use shenanigans.
Okay. There's some shit that went down, yo.
Yes. Some fucking shit went down.
Fucking shit, guys. Come on now. Let's vulgar it up a little bit.
Right.
No, but I love this match. I thought this match was great.
Yeah.
I loved it. This is my match of the night.
Yeah.
There were definitely some blown spots in it. That's for sure. I mean, poor Swerve was like flopping all over the place a few times, but I kind of like when a match is a little dirty and gritty like that. Like it's not just perfectly choreographed, because that's not how a real fight looks. It's supposed to be kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I mean, FTR was like really laying it in a few times, and it was just a great back and forth. I really enjoyed this match a lot. And I figured too that Swerve in Our Glory was going to win, because I figured it was setting up another match with the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely. Trey J, your thoughts on the second match?
My favorite spot in this whole thing was the big rig on Keith Lee.
Yeah.
And they hit that on bigger guys. It is such a visual. I'm with Mr. Isaac. This is definitely my match of the night. This match, though, is why I'm going to, when we get to the end, I'm going to rate this show so low.
Yeah.
Because I feel like putting it in that second spot was such a terrible decision.
Yeah.
I think that it should have either been first or it should have been last.
Yeah.
To me, it's just a match like this, especially with the fact that, I mean, come on now, you're finally giving FTR a spot on Dynamite. You know that they're probably one of the more over teams. Swerve in Our Glory, you're interested in their story because you know the breakup's coming, but it's kind of like, are they going to pull this trigger? What's going to be the thing? Is there going to be a miscue? I think there's a lot more story here. And no disrespect to Moxley, Moxley's match should have been first on the card.
Yeah.
Because especially the way things played out, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But I definitely enjoyed this match. I think it should have been either first or last.
Yeah, I agree. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
I thought this was a great match. I loved the back and forth. But I'll tell you why it wasn't last, or it wasn't first.
Yeah.
Because FDR didn't win.
Yeah.
If it was first, if FDR was going to win, it can go first or it can go last.
Yeah.
But FDR not taking the W is why they're second, because you can't have that FTR losing in the main event or the beginning. You just can't. The other thing I want to address is when a wrestler slips or makes a little mistake. I don't like the botch word, but when they slip or make a mistake, I don't want to see them hit offense after that.
Yes.
I want to see an improv where they get punished for their mistake, so they can recover from this move. So it doesn't look so hokey.
It was funny when Swerve slipped off the ropes, and then he just jumped into his arms.
Yeah, so he should have got punched in the face or something, and then they could have they should have a backup move. Okay, if we either of us screw up, punch me in the face, and we'll move it on from there.
I mean, here's the thing. If you sit under the learning tree with Taz, he tells you there's perspiration on those ropes. There's perspiration on those ropes.
Who's sweating all over the damn ropes?
Sweat everywhere. The schmaz finish, though, that kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth. Dax was not Dax. Dax was in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Then Cash was on the outside. The Gun Club held Cash back, so he couldn't get into Dax. Dax ate the pin from Keith Lee. So of course shenanigans.
But you know what I do like about it?
What?
I like the fact that it's like it's the long-term booking still, where like this is what they should have done with the Acclaimed. They should have drawn it out a bit, but that's what they're doing with FTR. When they finally win those belts, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
In fact, they're not going to win it at Full Gear now.
Yeah, no, obviously not. No,
it's going to be longer now. We have to wait for this.
Yeah,
and that's I mean that's the one thing AEW does best than anybody else right now. That's long-term storytelling
and the chase,
like people.
Yeah, the chase
is
so important.
AEW's. I mean, it's insanely good how they do it.
Yeah,
the fact that they've pretty much like laid out a nice path for FTR is also really good. You have the Gun Club at Full Gear. Yeah, they're gonna win, but like that's not really the big point. The point is you're finally getting the Gun Club some extra thing. They're gonna win by losing. See you, Dollywood.
See you, Dolly.
Good night.
But then you're going to bed without us.
That's how you get inside Dollywood.
4 tickets to Dollywood.
Woo! Man.
But then you get the Kingdom versus FTR at Final Battle, and I think that's the way that you lay those stories out, the way you kind of lay that breadcrumb trail is going to be fantastic. And then when we get to AEW Revolution in February or March of next year, you're going to have an undeniable FTR versus probably an Acclaim that has built up a 6-month reign.
Yeah, absolutely. So Saraya comes out and talks to Renee. We won't get into it. Britt shows up and then
thank God, it's a waste of a segment.
Well, I wanted to say something about that. Do you guys like Saraya and Britt Baker at Full Gear?
Yeah.
No.
I'm down with it.
I don't like it either because you need someone like Deeb wrestling her because Britt can't wrestle.
Oh, I disagree with that. I know you don't. I disagree.
No, she wrestles clunky as fuck. She's great on the mic, but you need somebody who is technically sound and doesn't get gassed after 15 minutes.
Oh my God, you are drunk off your ass.
Damn.
He's got like Moondog. He's got either Tennessee Moonshine or he's got like.
I call it like it is. I call it straight down the middle. I'm very truthful.
You do not. Okay, Britt Baker is a good wrestler. She's a good storyteller in and out of the ring. You are drunk off your ass.
Hold on, Trey J. Tell me why you don't like this match.
Because it's stupid. Okay, like this storytelling for this match has been stupid. We're gonna fight as soon as we see each other. We're gonna fight like this. Oh, but next week we're gonna have a conversation with Renee. I mean, it's getting to the point where this is really getting hokey. Like, I don't want to have a conversation with you. Like, the best thing that Saraya did in that whole thing was, oh my God, get out of my face, bitch.
You
like, that was
I can't wait for Full Gear After Dark because we're going to talk about this Saraya Britt Baker match.
Okay.
And we're going to talk how bad it is.
Right now, it's going to be up there, and it could be match of the night.
It could be. I will eat my words if it is. And I will apologize to you.
This shit is going to be Action Bronson versus QT Marshall in terms of motherfuckers not taking bumps. Like,
okay. I
got Noob on my side. That's all I need.
Oh my God. MJF is with Renee Paquette. Apparently he does his impersonation of Moxley and says, I'm gonna drink your blood, I'm gonna drink it. Who drinks piss? Like that's
Machida, former UFC light heavyweight champion. He drinks piss.
Did he say gargles piss? Or
he drinks his own piss.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be good for you, but I digress. Anyway,
I mean, that's how you don't get caught doping in the Olympics.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
It's like,
I mean, there's other ways to get
get
it. So MJF does his best Will Ferrell impersonation, and with all due respect, and then saying something that you shouldn't say, even though you said all due respect. I thought it was hilarious. It's a reference to Talladega Nights with Ricky Bobby. Promises he won't use the diamond ring. Guess what? He's gonna probably use the diamond ring. The crowd is super hot for him. That I loved watching the crowd just get behind him 100%. Then Stokely comes out. What the fuck is with his Mr. Rogers sweater? Like, is he going to sit on a stool and take off his loafers and put on tennis shoes? And then the male guy's going to come? Like, what the hell is with that sweater? So let's Trey J, you go first. What are your thoughts on the MJF promo?
I think that MJF is uber talented. However, it's beginning to show that they're running out of gas for this feud.
Yeah.
I think that this was a misstep. I think that, like, yes, I understand you don't want to overexpose MJF in the ring between now and Full Gear.
Yeah.
But you got Moxley basically going 300 miles an hour, and yet every week we're going to hear from MJF.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's becoming anticlimactic because MJF, and I think he said it himself, MJF comes out and he's perfect on the mic every time.
Yeah.
But at what point in time does that not become enough? And then what is your next gear from there? I mean, you had what might have been one of the greatest promo segments just last week between him and Regal. We're kind of hitting a wall, a plateau at best.
Yeah.
On what we can do with this. And we still have what Full Gear is the 18th of November?
About 2 weeks away.
3 weeks then, right? Wouldn't it be 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks then. Yeah.
I think it's 3 weeks. I think it's like three.
Somebody kept saying 2 weeks. What does he know? He's drunk off his ass too. He must be hanging out with Canada Dry at the bar.
Exactly, right?
I'm loyal. Canadian liquor.
You know what? You're so full of crap, JFB. You know what? You're just like, yeah. You agree with him. Yeah, he was agreeing with me a few seconds ago.
I love you, Canada Dry. All right. Mr. Isaacs, your thoughts on the MJF promo?
I love the promo. I thought it was great. I mean, this guy is so awesome on the microphone. And I love the fact that they're kind of just teasing that, he talks a big game, but he's not really doing anything between now and then. I kind of like that. I think that kind of fits his character. They're doing the thing again where they're kind of teasing him as a baby face. No. He's going to use the ring. He's going to try to cheat. And I mean, they've done this with him before, but I enjoyed the promo. I thought his Moxley impression was pretty spot on, the gargling piss and everything.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. I'm just going to think about Moxley saying gargling piss every time he cuts a promo, one of those stupid promos now.
Yeah. It's a Shooter McGavin line.
What's on your shirt, Isaacs?
What is it?
What's on your shirt?
Oh, it's a Simpson
Homer
shirt. Homer
Awesome.
Simpson, yeah.
Gotta love Homer. Yeah. So I absolutely loved this segment. What did he say at the beginning to Renee? Like something about sex or laid or something? Like what was that?
All the pores want to get you're like the fantasy lay for all the pores.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And she just like played it off like nothing. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. I was actually shocked.
What did he say?
I was shocked that he didn't kind of mention that she's married to John Moxley.
Yeah,
like
I thought that would come into it somehow, but like
should.
I strongly disagree with Trey J Styles here, because MJF is so over. He's like The Rock.
Yeah,
he can come out and say whatever he wants, and the fans are just eating it up right now. Yeah. He's not plateauing. I can't see him plateauing. He's got them all in the palm of his hands. He can come out and say whatever he wants, and they'll go, yes, MJF.
Yeah, we do suck. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I think that's time to plateau.
We will go fuck ourselves. Yeah.
And that's what I think of. When you say that, Mr. Isaacs, that's what I think of. If you guys remember Jessica Jones, when Purple Man was like, he's like, you know what a burden it is to have this power? I told this guy to go fuck himself, and he spent the next day trying to put his umbrella up his own ass. And I was like, that's where I feel like MJF is. It's like he has the burden of greatness right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be a bad thing.
Yeah. So we get a video package with the Kingdom and specifically Matt Taven going after the TNT title, which is booked on Friday. Let's go to our third match, Sammy Guevara versus Bryan Danielson. Acrobatics versus the stretch and submission of Danielson. Danielson no selling a majority of this match was freaking amazing. I hate when wrestlers do it, but he never does it. So it was very much a unique change of pace for Danielson. Really good back and forth between these two guys. I was really surprised. I was surprised about the chemistry that was in the ring between the two of them. You can only kick a man so many times before he fights back. And a lot of great reversals. Mr. Isaacs, you go first. Your thoughts on match number 3?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was like you said, it was kind of the technical groundsmith against the aerial guy, and it was fun to watch. I liked it.
All right,
Daniel,
Trey J, you go next.
Did he just freeze? I think he froze.
Oh.
So, I don't even know what to say about this match. It was way better than I anticipated. Little by little, I kind of lose faith in Sammy Guevara. I love the fact that this was actually a storytelling match and not just a spot fest, which I think a lot of Sammy Guevara's matches devolve into. Like, Sammy doesn't have a grasp of ring psychology,
no,
or at least doesn't display it. And I think with Danielson, there was kind of no choice. Like, the no selling was the psychology. Danielson came into this match pissed at the Jericho Appreciation Society, pissed at Wheeler Yuta, kind of just pissed off. And I think that played well throughout the whole thing. And Sammy finally getting just put down is something that I think a lot of us have just wanted to see. I think Sammy's become the guy with the punchable face now.
Yeah.
So when it happens, you almost want to cheer for it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm giving that a. Yeah, I'm giving you the bell for that. That was beautiful. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
That's not how the bell works. The bell's a hook, remember?
But the bells work for me.
But it works for Trey J.
See, I want y'all to see these words right here underneath my fingers.
Yeah.
With the question mark on it.
This shit was ridiculous. All right. That Rio match kind of effed me over.
Yeah. That Rio match effed a lot of people. It fucked a lot of people up.
The whole card was pretty rough on a lot of people.
So, Canada Dry, your thoughts on Numero Trace?
I really enjoyed this match, and I feel like Bryan Danielson is the perfect general to lead this match with a guy like Sammy, because he just, you have a guy like the history of Bryan Danielson. You do things my way and we'll have a great match. Watch. And they had a killer match.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate Sammy's move sets. I do appreciate his like he's killer, like doing all those flips and high dives. Like, they're pretty cool. You got to forget his yappy mouth and just see for what he is. He's freaking talented.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, this was a great match.
Cool. All right. So we're going to go to Ray Phoenix, of course, hyping up the Penta match. Then comes Luchasaurus talking about the Mid-Atlantic belt, or the not Mid-Atlantic. Yeah, it's the middle. No. What is it?
All Atlantic belt.
All Atlantic belt. There we go. Anyways, so this the All Atlantic belt. And then, of course, who comes in? Orange Cassidy with his knapsack, pulls out the belt, says, let's do it. So apparently next week, we have another triple threat match. It's going to be Ray Phoenix, it's going to be Luchasaurus, and it's going to be Orange Cassidy. So let's go to our fourth match. Jamie Hayter versus Riho. I kept thinking through this entire match, when are we going to get Hayter versus Britt? When are we going to get that match? That's the match that we deserve.
Well, I was thinking about that too. And I think that they put that on hold because of Saraya.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're going to come back to this after.
Yeah. Like there's gonna be some schmoz that Hater's gonna cost Britt the match, and that's gonna start the
Well,
breakup.
it looks like Hayter is going to get the match for the women's interim title.
Yeah,
So maybe
but
Brett will cost her that again.
maybe. Yeah. Well, I smell schmoz coming either way. Hater running over like a Mack truck. She has got a huge power base for a female wrestler. I mean, like you look at like Nikita Lyons and Nia Jax and a lot of the other bigger girls, and they don't dominate like Hater does. And Hater's not really a big girl. She's not a very large woman. So it was just, she's just got such a huge power base. Of course, at the end, the Storm comes out. There's a pointing of fingers, and that's how the match ended. Canada Dry, you go first. Your thoughts on match number 4?
2 weeks in a row, we have a great women's match. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I could actually say that. I absolutely love this match. And I think like I really enjoyed Riho. I think like it was just a fun match. I was surprised that Hater won because I thought they were going to put because Rio's been away for a while. I thought they were going to get her a W. Yeah. But I really enjoyed this match.
Cool. Mr. Isaacs, your thoughts on match number 4?
Yeah, I also had Riho winning. So that kind of screwed me over a little bit. But yeah, I thought this was a really good match. I liked it. I mean, Hater compared to Rio looks like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
But I mean, this was a good match, though. I mean, I like the way Rio works. Hater did a fantastic job. I thought it told a good story. And, like I said, I thought Rio was going to win because she's been gone for so long. She's a former.
The hell?
Is there a hailstorm here all of a sudden?
I thought someone was eating a bag of chips there.
Sound like a Tony Storm showed up at the wrong time.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. I wish Rio had won though.
Yeah. Trey J, your thoughts on this match?
This is one of those few times where I picked wrong, but I'm really glad that Jamie Hayter won because I do hate to see her come out the short end of the stick in a lot of these matches. She's uber talented. She's super over. Like you can definitely see that like hers is a good natural build, and you don't really see that when it comes to like your women very often. You get that maybe once every couple of years. I think Bianca's one good example for that. I honestly think Jordan Grace was one of those examples.
Yeah.
Was one of those examples.
I said was.
Not anymore.
Even to a certain extent, I think even we go all the way back, Mickie James was definitely one of those. And if you noticed it in each of those examples, all of them have turned out like their careers have gone great.
Yeah.
And you're going to see, a lot from them. So I think that Jamie Hayter's in good company with that. I'm definitely glad she won. I do wish Riho won for my points, but I'm glad that Jamie Hayter won. I do hate the fact that I feel like we're setting ourselves up for Jamie to job to Tony, and I do think that's a mistake.
Yeah.
It might not be if they do it right to set up a Britt and Hayter.
Yeah, but I would love to see a Britt and Hayter feud where Britt's jealous because Hayter got the belt.
That'd be a lot better.
Yeah, I think there's so much more you can do with that because then when Hayter beats Britt, she's catapulted even better.
Yeah,
because
Jamie Hayter needs to be a face, and I don't say that.
I would like to see her beat Jade Cargill. That's who I'd like to see her beat.
Yeah,
I'm tired of that belt on Jade Cargill. Give it off of her and put it on Hayter.
Yeah, but they got to run through this Nyla Rose feud first. So, and I think that Nyla Rose is doing the best job, best work she's ever done in AEW.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She is killing it.
But she's not winning the belt.
Yeah. So we get Kingston interviewing with Renee. He kept gritting his teeth. We're not even going to spend time with it.
Yeah, what was with that? What was in his cheek?
He's like, I'll just grit through my teeth. We had a video package with Darby Allin. Who do you think is the Lethal's person that knows Darby's weakness. Who do we think it is?
The only person I can think is Sting.
I kind of was thinking the same thing too. I think
That's
it's
the only person I can think of.
yeah. Trey J, who do you think?
Evil Sting.
I don't know. That one's a tough
would
one.
be cool.
Darby Allin. I think if they find that lady that did the sex sent me to the ER with Darby Allin,
Yeah,
then that's his weakness. Because apparently his weakness is bees.
yeah.
Did you guys know that's a real? That was like, I don't know if that's a real
I
story.
remember
Did you guys
that.
know
I
that
remember
Darby
seeing that
Allin
a couple years ago.
Yeah. One of the most funniest things that I had ever seen.
And Joseph Graham says,
Yeah, Renee earned her check tonight.
and I absolutely love seeing her every single segment. I love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, they're getting her money. They're getting their money.
Well, it brings AEW up a notch.
Yeah.
Just by having her in those segments every single time.
Yeah, I wish you didn't change the name
Yeah.
of the podcast though, because that was a great name for a podcast.
Oh, the oral sessions.
Yeah, World Sessions.
I think there were some jokes about that, and she just couldn't.
Yeah, I was watching that on YouTube one day, and my wife walked in. And she goes, "What are you watching?"
Yeah. I can't watch that when I'm at work. It's just
So now it's just the sessions, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that was just the
The
session.
sessions, yeah.
But that's okay. That's all right. Name the sessions with her name for cat.
It's still better than this. Not as good as the first one. So we get that video package. Let's get to our final match. Let's go because this one's going to be a deep dive. We got Moxley versus Penta Mieto Zero. Here's what I learned from this match. More than anything else, I paid more attention to commentary on this than I did to the match itself. Taz has 3 BMWs. I'm very jealous. He has 3 BMWs. He's like,
That's funny that we learned that on this.
I digress. Really interesting style because Penta can be a brawler and he can be a high flyer. And if you watch Triple Mania with him and Villanova, that he just mopped the freaking floor with him. I mean, it was he ran that show. Great counters. Love the arm breaker that he put on Moxley. I thought he should have sold it a little bit more like they did in Lucha Underground. Let's save the schmoz for last because there was a schmoz at the end. We'll save that for last. Canada Dry, you go first. Championship main event match.
I thought this was a great match. Good back and forth. I think that it's a very good brawling style between them both. It was very, very, and Mox didn't bleed. That was awesome. The fact he didn't bleed, that was great.
Yeah, it's good.
That what's that called? The package pile driver that Penta does.
Yeah,
and I noticed they called him Pentagon Junior twice on this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
Now he's getting sued.
Yeah, now AAA is going to sue the shit out of him. But Mr. Isaacs, your thoughts on this match?
It's a very solid match. These two guys work well together. I mean, it was. I felt like it wasn't anything that I hadn't already seen before.
Yeah,
from these two, but it was a solid match. That's about all I have to say about it.
Guys, I want to just interrupt you for 1 second. I want to invite Trey J Styles. I want to invite Mr. Isaacs this Sunday for a roundtable on the All Left in Wrestling show. Are you guys up for it?
I might be able to make that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we got our roundtable.
Book it.
You can book it.
Book it. Yeah. So Trey J, you're up next. What do you?
I didn't know Mr. Isaacs was finished.
Huh?
Were you finished, Isaacs?
Yes, I was done.
Oh, okay. So I feel like this match started from a meme.
Yeah.
Because you remember the with Triple Mania and then the GCW shows where like Moxley gets like light tubes kicked into his face and then Penta's all bloody holding up Viano's mask. It's almost like that was like the setup for this more than anything else. It's like, hey, Tony Khan, you got 2 of your top guys, doing mud show shit.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna make them my main event, so screw you. And I think that's really like the main story here. The match, I don't think the outcome was ever really in doubt here. I do think though it was almost kind of a surreal fact when they said this is Pentagon's first singles championship opportunity in AEW. And I'm like, after 3 years, this is his first? I'm like, Phoenix has had title opportunities before.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know what I don't like about this?
What's that?
Is he didn't do anything to earn this.
No.
No, I hate when they just, and he gets a match.
Yeah.
I mean, but they've done that throughout Moxley's entire reign. And I think that when you look at Moxley's reign going back, that's the whole problem. The Mance Warner match out of nowhere.
They threw out the number one content, like the list. Like they threw that out for this reign. Like
they threw it out. They threw it out for the tag teams.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, they threw it out during Hangman's reign terribly because when Dante Martin was got a world title shot. Yeah. And speaking of, where's that guy been? You know,
he's going to join the but he's going to have blue hair.
Right. it's so weird that, you know, a lot like goes back to the Cody conversation from earlier. A lot of the feel of AEW changed when Cody left. So I think that a lot of that feel is going to be just past tense if they ever lost the Bucks and Omega.
Yeah.
That ranking system was unique, but after a while, it's kind of like
it's hard, you know, on their behalf, it's hard to keep that ranking system like week after week and go by it because you're kind of tied then.
But in a way, though, they've dicked over the ranking system since the day one. It's like you have somebody who's like 3-0 over somebody that's 15-2, and this is like that wouldn't fit anywhere else.
Yeah, they're voting it like college fucking football.
Thank you. That's what it reminds me of. The BCS. I couldn't. It was on the tip of my tongue, and I could not get it out. But I'm glad you said it.
Bull crap is shitty. That's what BCS is. Why am I bitching and complaining? I'm a Boston College fan.
Remember they had that BCS song on Saturday Night Live. He loves the BCS system.
You know what the BCS really stands for, right?
Yeah, bullshit. Crap.
This is a wrestling show. This is a wrestling.
It bought, charged, and sold.
Whoever's got the most cash
in
the university sack is who's going to get into them.
Do you think, on just a side note, do you think they'll ever change that, or is that there forever?
That's there forever.
Yeah. That's one of those.
Never be a proper ranking system.
They kind of made it a little better with the Bowl Championship Series tournament that they've got. They kind of made it a little better. So, and they talked about expanding that. So hopefully they do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They should have expanded it the year that they introduced it. And, you know, anyways, we're talking about college football.
Wrestling.
Back to wrestling.
I'm from the South, man. I'll talk college football all day long.
Yeah. Well, you know,
we should introduce the BCS to prediction wrestling. Like instead of like people just having number one contenderships from now on, it's just like, who do you guys
just pick Georgia every week?
On predictions. Like when JFB goes against Trey J Styles, we have to predict who will actually win.
Nice.
Have a prediction league.
I like that idea. Canada Drive, book it. We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm
all for it.
In a league.
Let's talk about the schmoz. I'm gonna throw out my revelation on this. So essentially, what happened? We'll go over the schmoz. So the firm comes out and they start beating the hell out of John Moxley. They go backstage. Blackpool Combat Club's locker room is changed.
Not just their locker room, the whole locker room shut.
Yeah, the whole locker room. So it had Blackpool Combat Club on the door. So
they got to have the sign on the door, JFB. Who the hell knows who's in there?
And so
Goldberg.
Yeah,
that one of those common tropes. Yeah.
So Goldberg would have broke it down, bloodied his head.
So he would have taken his head and rammed into it.
No sold the blood during a promo.
So we have that, and then MJF comes out, and he's like fighting. Do I go help Moxley? Do I not go help Moxley? He runs to the back, and then comes out again, and this time runs to the ring, starts pushing everybody around. Of course, he fires Stokely in the firm. The firm turns on MJF, and we are left watching a beaten MJF being put through a table. Now I'm going to go with I'm going to prognosticate. Here's my prediction. MJF chained the door. MJF ran in and he sold his ass off of the firm beating his ass. It's going to be like the Vince McMahon. It was me, Austin. It was me all the time. And because he keeps referring to himself as the devil. The devil. He is an evil, shitty heel. That is the essence. So I'm going to go to Canada Dry first because I know you're biting at the chop to shut me down.
Well,
Thoughts on the
no, because either way we win on this.
Yeah.
If he is pulling one over our eyes,
yeah,
we still win because we're like, oh, he got us. Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah. But if he's face, we're like, yeah, he's good. We still love him, right? So either way, we win. So that's what I love about this. It's a win-win situation. Like MJF has us either way.
Because I think what's going to happen is it's either going to be the Dynamite before Full Gear. There's going to be a tag match. They're going to tag team MJF and Moxley against the firm, and that's when we get the turn. And then
that's such a WWE way to do it, though.
Doesn't matter. Now we get into Full Gear on Saturday or Sunday or the 18th, and you automatically go.
But you know what I don't like about this? If this is how they're doing it,
yeah,
they beat the living shit out of MJF there. Like they could have just done one table spot and he's out, and then they go back to Mox.
Yeah, no, you got to sell it. You got to sell it.
Yeah, remember Bully Ray and Aces Mates?
Yeah,
all the other times this happens, they don't beat the shit out of him so bad. They just beat him up and then they throw him aside. And they go after the real guy they want.
Yeah, but that's WWE booking. This is AEW with
the you're booking WWE too. So
the volume is turned up to 11.
Vince, get out of our heads.
Mr. Isaacs, what are your thoughts on the schmoz?
Yeah. It's like I've said all along, man. MJF is not going babyface. This is all just wool over the eyes. He's a heel. I agree with you. I think he's the one who locked the locker room door and took a few for the team being himself. And I think that he's going to turn on Moxley and pretend to be on his side to go up against the firm, and then he's going to turn on him or leave him to get beat up or something like that.
Yeah. There you go. Trey J, your thoughts on the schmoz?
So it is what it is, a match like that. Once again, Pentagon's gone. He's out of the ring. Moxley's the only target. They did this same thing last week where one person's just completely not available to take this beat down, right?
Yeah.
What was it? It was a Tony Storm's match.
Yeah.
And like this time, though, what I would love to happen, and I do like this is the only reason why I think that the 3 weeks between now and this happening will be such a thing, is if you have the Gun Club who attacked FTR, right? Somehow, I don't know, you put, Morrissey has had his static with Wardlow in the past, right? Let's reunite the Pinnacle.
Yeah.
But like have them who've basically all been screwed in one way or another over the past X amount of time. Let's get them together, have that big blow off with the firm, and boom, they turn heel on Moxley.
Okay.
We get babyface MJF for a week.
Yeah.
And at Full Gear, and Moxley's expecting a clean fight. Blackpool Combat Club gets totally destroyed backstage. Moxley doesn't see it coming. Dynamite Diamond Ring, boom. MJF complete.
Yeah. You know what I like about this is it's gonna be a fun ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun ride. And that's
all like. Enjoy the journey.
We're trying to figure it out, but in the end, we all don't know. So it's gonna be a fun ride.
Yeah. All right, so we are near the end of the show. Holy crap, the auditory orgasm that we're giving you. We have to go and start doing what we do best. That is give it your best shot. What was your favorite match? And out of 4 bells, how many bells are you going to give it? Canada Dry, you go first.
I'm going to give this, you know what? I really enjoyed this show. I'm giving it 4 bells, and I'm going to give, oddly enough, Riho and Hater the match of the night.
Okay. Mr. Isaacs.
So I've given every single one up to this point that I've done with you guys 3, I believe. I might have gave 1, 2 in there.
Yeah.
But this is my favorite of all the ones I've reviewed with you guys. So I'm going to give this one a 4.
Okay.
And my favorite match by far was the tag match.
Yeah.
Which one?
FTR.
Okay.
Glory. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't beat that. Trey J Styles, go ahead, give it your rating.
I was gonna give like this show 2 bells before we started this show, but you guys have really opened my eyes on a few things here. I thought I was gonna compare this episode, which by the way is in my hometown right now, and I chose not to go. I was gonna give it 2 bells because I felt like the overarching initial feeling was that this was booked like an Impact show.
Yeah.
Because, and I think one of the things that did like thoroughly upset me was, okay, there was no real beatdown between the Gun Club and FTR, but yet FTR didn't show up towards the end to go after the firm. That seems like there were just certain things that like if they were booked differently, it would have made a lot more sense. The match order, of course, that just still bugs me a little bit. But favorite match of the night, FTR versus Swerve. Me and Mr. Isaacs talked about that earlier. So I'm going to give it an extra bell just for y'all. So y'all gave that. So I'm going to give it 3 bells.
There we go. I'm going to go with mine really quickly. Mine was the tag match, FTR versus Swerve in Our Glory. I thought stole the show. It sucked that it was not first, and it sucked that it wasn't last. It should have been. Nothing against Moxley, and you know how I feel. Championship belts, championships come before everything. Always main event, period. I'm going to give it 3 bells as well. I thought it was really good, but, it was missing little things here and there, like your nitpick.
A stupid, naive, silly little goose.
Oh, Canada Dry. All right, so that's the end of our show, guys. Holy crap! We just gave you.
We have the round table on Sunday. What are we talking about?
I can't tell you.
Okay, so you guys are both here for this, right?
3 questions for AEW, 3 questions for WWE. It might be 2 in Indies. I don't know. I have a big hat and I pull and yank that stuff out of.
So this is 1:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, 1:30 Eastern.
Can I throw one into the hat, and even if you don't pick it, just have it in there for later? Like, what the fuck are they doing with Lash Legend in NXT? Like,
they ain't doing shit.
Yeah, it's starting to irritate me at this point. Like, why?
It was horrible, man. Poor Rock's daughter. But that's for a different show that we don't do. So you can go to our website, effortwrestling.com, scroll all the way down. All that social media crap, it's all there. You just click on it. It sends you to our prediction league, group league. It sends you everywhere except for porn. It does not say it's not a portal for porn. I swear to God. You can no porn. You can go, of course, to our awesome website, Canada Dry. Show them the beautiful shirt that you have. That's right. One of our shirts, you can get all kinds of swag, prowrestlingtees.com/effort wrestling. And if you really, really like old school wrestling, and I know you do, we are big fans of Adrian Adonis. We run his Pro Wrestling Tees website, prowrestlingtees.com/Adrian Adonis. On behalf of Canada Dry, Mr. Isaacs, Trey J Styles, I am the JFB.
And I'm Canada Dry. And remember, just keep fighting.
Ooh, okay.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.